Welcome to Innovate Sarawak Stories 2024, where we spotlight the startups of TEGAS program who are innovating innovation in Sarawak. I'm Athira, and today we're excited to have Eleanor Empiang from Benang Studios with us. Eleanor and her team are recent winners of the TEGAS Shell Life Wire in 2024. Thank you for being here, Eleanor.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with you.
And I'm excited to, learn and understand about your story. So now to start, can you tell us a bit about yourself? What's your background and what inspired you to start Benang Studios?
Okay. I actually have a legal background before starting this business. And Benang started purely as a hobby. I was crocheting. I actually took up crocheting and knitting modern after graduation. And throughout the years, I just created more things, more crochet works, more knitwear for my friends and family. And eventually, modern started ordering from me. So I saw that there's a demand in what I make. That I decided, why not start a business with my skills?
Your work with knitwear is really, really unique. So what drew you to this craft, and how do you see Benang Studios playing a role in preserving, and promoting Sarawak's cultural heritage?
Thank you for seeing that the uniqueness in my work. What was it? Okay, what drew me to this craft is the repetitive handwork when you crochet. It's very meditative. And seeing the creation grow lah. When you envision something and it comes to life, it sparks joy. And I think that what continuously drew me back to crocheting and knitting, because there are other crafts out there, right, which I can do, definitely. But I don't know, somehow I love it. Like, you can start with just a handle and then it turns into a bag. I mean, amazing, bukan?
It is. Yeah. And it takes a lot of time and effort, obviously, and it's very, very work that is very, sangat kecil-kecil, but
it's actually good for your mental health, honestly. I think that's why I do this a lot more. It helps with because women, right, we have this chattering brain. Sometimes when you put yourself into working with your hand, it quiets down. So that to me, I think that's why I stick with it. And even with taking up beading now, I realize that happens as well.
Yeah, it is very therapeutic. Yeah, a lot of people say that, and it like quietens your brain. Like your brain stops talking.
We got monkey brain, like
like yapping non-stop.
Because you need to count, you have to focus, So when you have to count, you focus, then everything else quiets down. You just focus on one thing only.
Yeah. It takes your brain.
It does.
To a more quiet, harmonious space. I understand.
More like for preservation instead, like I think as you can see, crochet and knitting, it's not in our culture. So technically it's a modern technique lah, I would say. For Benang, how I tried to preserve my culture was incorporating traditional beads like orang ulu beads, because I'm half Kayan and I'm half Iban. So I think to bridge that barrier between our culture and my craft, which is very not modern lah, to be told. I mean, especially in Sarawak kan. So I infuse it by integrating traditional elements like beads with modern crochet work. So this is actually one of my first prototypes on how I integrated crochet with traditional beads lah.
I just realized, are the beads for each bangsa different?
Oh yeah. Macam I think to explain like orang dulu, I think we used a lot of chevron beads. And then Iban, we use like smaller beadings as well.
Yeah. Those the ones that are usually they use to use the necklace, to do the necklaces. Is it?
So I think in a way, like in order for your craft, which is not necessarily traditional, to break that barrier, is to mix it, to infuse it. So I think for Benang, how we preserve culture is by letting the old meet the new. and infusing it together to create something contemporary.
This one, starting and running a business comes with a lot of, your fair share of challenges and difficulties. So, what were some of the biggest obstacles that you faced in Benang Studio, and how did you overcome them? And then, are there any ongoing challenges, especially now that you've transitioned it into a social enterprise?
Okay. I think for every entrepreneur, our biggest challenge is getting enough sales to help you through the month. Everyone would say that. So I think when we started, I think when I started, it was 2019, and then boom, pandemic hit.
I know.
I only managed to join one market, the Benang, and then that was it. I think having an online presence was so important at that time, because if it was not because of social media, I think Benang wouldn't have continued. So everything was running online, sales, marketing, promotion, and I was doing actually very well during PKP. Yeah, because I think that time people couldn't go out, right?
Yeah.
So people spend online.
Yes.
So I was doing quite well then. So I think that wasn't really much of a challenge. It's just shifting your platform lah. That was the challenge then. And then I think the biggest one that hit me was when PKP, they transitioned from PKP to normal life. People are starting to spend differently because they get to go out. So online was not really working anymore. And I think for a brief moment, how to say, like markets, even like I had a friend who was working in Viva kan, he was telling me they were not making sales. For a period of time, they were actually not making good sales at all because people were changing their habits. During that time I was really down because it was not doing very well. I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, we hit that block there, and I decided to take a sabbatical from Benang, and I took a corporate job which I do not regret, because it taught me a different way to look at how to run a business. You have to show up like like corporate job lah. Actually, to make the business successful, you need to treat it like a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I took what I learned from my corporate job and instilled it into my business. And eventually I left that job because I was like adamant to, you know what? If I can do this for corporate, I can do it for my business.
Yes.
And so I did it. Yeah, I think that's one of the ways I overcome it. Like, you have to get yourself out. Like, when you're stuck, you get yourself out of that situation. You try something new. Because if you keep trying to do the same thing, the same result, it's insane. You're not going to get anywhere, bakan?
Yes, exactly.
So I think that's the way to go in life. In any problem, you just have to adapt.
Yes.
And let's see, transitioning into social enterprise. The biggest one we have so far is the biggest challenge that we have is due to scheduling issues with our current partners. They are unable to gather and send potential participants to join our program. A bit disheartening, but it's okay. I guess we have to learn to pivot and find different beneficiaries while we wait for our schedule to align with Sarawak Women for Women. So as of now, it's not exactly running yet because we need our schedules to match each other lah. Another thing is to adapt, pivot, adapt. Always pivot, adapt.
Yeah, we always have to know how to adapt to, things can happen without us knowing, like you like PKP suddenly.
You have to I know. Something different. You have to have that, okay, stop. It's not working. How are we going to face it?
I mean, that's a good thing. Like, you don't see it as a stopping point to make you stop. Instead, you there's a big wall and then you just go ahead and belot that one instead of banging on the wall to bring it down, So That's very inspiring. It's not an easy thing to do as well.
Yeah, it could be disheartening lah, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's life lah kan.
You really have to be like very strong in that sense. All right. Next is, so Sarawak is known for its cultural heritage, especially in crafts and textiles. How does Benang Studio contribute to preserving this heritage through your products and workshops? Could you give us some, can you share with us?
Sure. Product wise, as we've talked about, right, infusing modern techniques and traditional beading. I think this is what I'm very proud of lah, okay? Because I started beading recently and I taught myself how to hand bead this jewelry lah. And when I created this, it was inspired by the Iban. So I guess like this is how I created my heritage. No, it's not exactly traditional make. I don't actually do traditional beading or traditional weaving, potting bead, but you cannot run away from your culture. And eventually, it will integrate into your work.
Yes.
So yeah, bukan traditional, it's more contemporary when it comes to Benang way of thinking, right? And in terms of workshop, I'll be running a woven embroidery workshop soon, and it's going to start with Embrace Studio, which is happening this August 23rd and 24th. So it was inspired by the weaving of Puak Kumbu and also Songket Sarawak. Because weaving when you weave kain, you have that movement like embroidery.
Yes.
So when I created that workshop, I was like, you know what? It could be like a different way to incorporate our heritage into it. Because instead of making a woven rectangle that you would like songket, like it'll be done in a circular way.
I hear that you get inspired a lot from the design. Is there anyone who particularly inspires you to do this knitting and this beading things?
Knitting, I would say there's this crochet artist. Her name, she's on Instagram. Her username is all about Amin. I love how she creates things that are usable. Because most of my things, like whatever I create, is actually things I would use. Okay, like the headbands, the bags, the necklace, the earrings. You see, like, I'm not worried about. These are things that I would wear. So I love makers who make things that it's them. What they wear, what they make is what they would wear. In terms of beading, I don't know. I have a lot, like on my mother's side, my Kayan side. My aunties do beadings. The baby carrier, the Ormudu baby carrier.
Yeah.
We had this baby carrier growing up with, it's fully beaded.
That's very interesting.
So I think they are my inspiration. My aunties, my grand aunties, my pidoh. Because my pidoh, she didn't really do beading, but she was into making jala, ishpun jala.
Wow.
Every time she comes over and stay with us, she always have a project. She never comes empty. She will always have something for her hand to work with. So I realized, I think that's in my culture to create with by hand.
Another thing as well is, with kids these days and technology and those kind of things, there's not a lot of people who would, who finds it interesting and to want to like bring their traditions to the next few generations. You don't see that, unfortunately. But for your workshops, are they, young people who are joining?
Yes.
Dala.
I mean, I did but this one is not traditional one lah. I did a crochet scrunchie workshop. That time I think she was 8 years old or 9 years old. She was my youngest student. So cute. And I think in order to preserve it, you have to expose the younger generation. I think why it stick to me is because I was exposed to it through my aunties, through my grandma, you know. So I think once that exposure stops, kids will not have, they have nothing to connect them with it lah.
Yes.
Then it won't continue kan.
Yes, and that will be very upsetting lah. It's not something you can get from YouTube, all those kind of things, because most of the people who starts this is always, makcik-makcik in the kampung, so they don't have like social media to like share. So I guess it's great that you're creating this workshop and teaching them these kind of things, because at the end of the day, culture have to
you have to pass it on.
Yeah, it has to be passed on. Again, it's inspiring to see how Benang Studios goes beyond just creating products, So can you share some stories of how your work has positively impacted your community? Especially your let's talk more about your collaboration with Sarawak Women for Women's Society.
Okay. Okay, apart from products, I love to create art installation. So apart from that, this is about the Stitching Hope initiative lah, that we came up with for Shell Life Wire. Okay. This is something that I have always wanted to do when I started with Benang. I wanted to work with single moms and domestic survivors to create craft. What I wanted to bring the foundation to our partners is we wanted to run craft therapy, because I think as we discussed, like when you work by hand, it's repetitive work. It's very therapeutic. And you have trauma survivors, when you give them an outlet to create something that can keep their mind quiet for a while, just at peace, right? It helps them heal lah.
Yes.
So that was what I wanted to bring partners, to work with survivors, to help them, and not only to heal in that sense, but you also give them a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
When you create something, you finish something, you're like, wow, it's so pretty. I made that.
Yeah.
So you feel accomplished, bah.
Yeah.
I've been working with a lot of women collective lah throughout my journey. I'm very blessed in that sense, because like for example, the Yarn Wild and Free initiative, we create an art installation for What About Kuching in 2022. It helps the creators, the creatives. They were all women. I had like quite a number of crochet artists involved. We have beading. We had batik, It helped when we were doing that, when we were putting up the installation, there was this sense of women empowerment.
Yes.
We were like, what? We're all girls. We did it.
Yeah.
To climb trees. We were yarn bombing. We actually yarn bomb Bishopgate and Padungan, one tree in Padungan. And we were all girls. We would have to come down like past midnight because we couldn't catch out the floor of the road. And we had that, what do you call it? The lift to bring us up.
The crane.
So it's that sense of like, hey, you know what? If we work together, we can do it.
Yes.
I want to bring that to survivors.
Yes.
Because I understand, like, after you go through something traumatic, you feel secluded bah. Sometimes you feel lonely kan.
Yes.
So if we could just bring them together just to learn something, it doesn't have to be an installation lah kan.
Yeah.
It's just to have a group of women help each other heal. That's what I wanted to bring for this initiative.
I mean, in a step of healing, especially from trauma and all those kind of things, it's very, very important to have support. And it's great that you're bringing all these women together, like at least they know they have someone who they can, if they're interested in beading, at least they have someone to share it with. It's very important in that sense.
Like macam you don't have to, it doesn't have to be, therapy is usually you have to talk to people.
Yes.
Sometimes you just don't want to.
Yes.
Why don't, instead of talking, you create your feelings?
Yeah. sometimes talking is overwhelming. So maybe just a quiet meeting time alone with all these people. I think that will be nice. That's very, very nice. So my next question is, sustainability and ethics are clearly important for your brand, especially ethics. How do you incorporate these values into your operations, and why are they so important to you?
Okay.
Particularly in offering employment opportunities to domestic abuse survivors.
Okay. Okay. I started Benang with a clear vision and a clear mission lah. Okay. I wanted to push for sustainability and create eco-friendly product in a fast-forward fashion world. You know? In this time where everything is mass-produced, I feel like I need to bring back that nostalgia of creating your own things. It actually lasts a lot longer than fast fashion. I mean, we're having problems now. I mean, we've already had problems. It's just that now you see it more, how fast fashion impacts us, pollution wise and all that, right? That was something I always had in mind when I started Benang. I want it to be sustainable. I want it to be eco-friendly. I want it to last. And in terms of offering employment to survivors, I guess the idea that if I could help them, if I could help survivors generate income, kan? Even if it's not in full, you generate extra income by creating products. Why not? And I mean, sometimes like, what if a survivor enjoys doing crochet work or beading, right? As a hobby, say, maybe they do have a job already, job placement is there, but for their spare time, they want to do beading, they want to do crochet, and sometimes you make, how many can you wear, right?
Yeah.
Everything you make, right? So like, if they want to generate income through that, I would need a platform for them lah. And I mean, who knows, in the future when Benang's more stable, we have our own place, it could be permanent employment as well.
Yes.
So I guess that's how we come in to work with survivors and in an ethical environment juga lah. You get paid properly.
Yes.
You get paid for your time making things as well. Yeah.
It gives a sense of hope lah, in a way, kan?
Walaupun dia kecil, it's not like because we're small, right? It's not like we are corporate lah. But I mean, if in between transitioning or you want to do something else than corporate job, right? There's always another platform, which is crafting lah.
I want to join lah. Because like crocheting is very, very interesting to me. My mom likes to crochet. Like she crochets like very nice things. But then at the same time, I'm like, I know my mom's not gonna want to teach me because she doesn't know how to teach people. So I know that asking her for help is gonna be a little bit difficult. But at the same time, I still want to learn how to crochet. So
with me, like just join me and I will teach you. And
quick. I want to make a sarong for the table and those kind of stuff. Do you do that?
I think once you learn the basic technique, you can do anything. Serious.
Okay. As long as I just set my mind to it and I can happen, right? Anything is possible, Okay. So I understand you recently participated for the TEGAS Shell Life Wire 2024 and you were one of the winners. I'd like to say congratulations.
Thank you.
I bet it's
proud.
you should be proud. It's a huge accomplishment. So what were some of the key takeaways and insights that you gained from the experience, and how have they influenced your approach into growing Benang Studios?
Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you so much. Can I tell you a secret? That is actually my first boot camp. I've never joined this boot camp thing ever before. But I was talking to Lucille from Pungu Borneo because that time I was doing a short internship with her, apprenticeship because I wanted to learn about beading lah. So
you should.
we had this chat. I was telling her how I wanted to work with domestic abuse survivors, with single moms, empowerment and all that. She's like, you know what? You should join Share Life Wire. Like, really? What's it? What's Share Life Wire? So she was walking me through her experience because she joined it as well. And I said, you know what? If I don't do it now, I'm never going to try. So I got a partner. I got Anur Nabila in with me. She's also a crochet artist. I said, do you want to join me in this journey? She's like, yeah, sure. So we just fill in our form, wrote out everything and send like, if we cannot, we cannot. If tidak, tak apalah. That means it's not our rezeki, kan?
Yes.
And lo and behold, they emailed us. I was like, oh my God, we got in. Like, we actually got in. It's like, okay, get ready. We have to go to Miri. So we went for the bootcamp was in Miri. And it was, I think, a whole week event going on. And let me tell you something. It opened my mind. It opened my mind to so many things. If I could, I would tell entrepreneurs, you know what, join that bootcamp. So as you know that I don't have any business background before starting this kan. It taught me how to create a business plan and how to pitch my brand, how to pitch what my ideas are. And throughout the journey, it pushed me lah, like, Eleanor, your idea is not just an idea.
Yes.
It can happen, and it really gave me a sense of like, you know what, I can do it. Yes, the key take is please do it. And you are because you're in a group of entrepreneurs bah. Kan they only choose 30 out of I don't know, hundreds of applications, they choose 30. When you are in a room filled with driven entrepreneurs, things are different. The level is different, Everyone's talking about business, your ideas, what can you do, how are you going to approach it. You see, my bulu Roma pun naik. I've never been in a group like that, in a session like that, how to present yourself, how to do your pitch, ROI and all these things which I've never touched on. So yeah, it was a very, very good experience. It's so good. Like, any entrepreneurs, please join it.
Yeah, guys. But yeah, it's true lah. I mean, where else can you find places that teaches you all this stuff?
Yeah.
Like YouTube ka, apa ka, you don't get, it's not like that specific. It does not teach you exactly what to do, So, see, it's a good experience for everyone.
Don't be scared. Just try. If you get in, you get in. If you don't, then it's okay.
Yeah. There's always, there's always next year. Can just push yourself to go ahead with your dream. Yes. Just get that first step first and then on to other things, on to bigger things. So that was my last question. But before we wrap up, so I'd love to hear about your vision for the future, what are your plans for the growth and expansion of Benang Studios, and are there any few projects or initiatives that you are particularly excited about?
Okay. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the near future, we'll have our own place. I'm really looking forward to having a permanent space lah for Benang, because now we're doing markets only. We're doing markets, we're selling online. So hopefully in the future, we will have a permanent place where we will all go and also sell products and also be a platform for anyone who wants to learn lah. And there's another initiative which I'm really looking forward to. I would like to tell you what, but I will tell you the small things about it lah. I want to work with agricultural side. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I want to create Benang's first product from scratch by working with agriculture to create a product out of their wastage. Yeah,
nice.
Because I really want to do the zero waste thing. I'm going to start small. We'll see what we can do with pineapple. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now we're in the planning process. We're looking for partners to work with. And I want to start experimenting soon lah with fibers that we can create from all this wastage, because we get tons and tons of wastage from agriculture. And all these things, they end up being burnt.
Yes.
Sayang ba?
Sayang.
Because you can actually create so many things out of it. So right now, Sarawak has not stepped up to doing that. And I think we all know that Sarawak is going for green energy, everything green. I would like to start with that lah, by creating fiber from agricultural wastage.
It's nice.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm excited. So my question right now, where do you teach your students?
My students?
Yeah.
Actually anywhere. Like recently I did a crochet class from start to finish with my student. If there's Starbucks, we go to Starbucks. Yeah. Because I don't exactly have a permanent space, but it's very chill. And then my classes are going, I go according to your time as well. Because I know a lot of people work,
Yes.
you cannot exactly have a set time. So how I do is like, I'll teach you the beginner step, right? How to crochet. And then say you want to create a bag, right? And then after this, I say, okay, the how to create this pattern. You go home, you make a few pieces. So you have homework lah, so that you don't forget how to crochet.
Yeah.
It's when you stop crocheting, that's when you forget. So once they're done with all their pieces, I said, okay, are you ready for your next class? I said, yeah, let's put it on this date. Okay, now I teach you how to piece it together. And then once they piece it together, and then said, okay, that's enough for today. That's, it took out our time. And the last step will be like, let's finish it. So you do the finishing of the bag. Yeah, it could be anywhere for now.
Okay.
Yeah. But mostly markets, like I said, there'll be one at Embrace Market at Paradise. I think it's next weekend.
Okay.
And then the other one will be with what is popping kuching at Tropic City. That will be for next month. I'll be introducing the embroidery lah, the woven workshop. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone is open to join your workshop, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, if anyone's interested, you can head over to my IG, Benang by L, and I will always post where I will be, which market I'll be joining, where my workshops will be held, and you can also reach out to me if you do want to join workshops. Yeah.
Okay. Don't forget to follow.
Benang by L.
We'll put the link down below.
Yeah.
Macam YouTube. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Klik butang notifikasi, guys. So, Eleanor, you obviously have a wide vision, and they're all very impactful. They're all very, what's that word? Inspiring. You do things that I wish I could do, like things like empowering women, empowering yourself, we're focusing on your mental health, how to take care of yourself. It's all of the things you do, and I think that's like, it's not an easy thing to do lah. Honestly, you're very, very inspiring. I'm not even lying. Like, so I think that's it. It's been a pleasure of having you here for Innovate Sarawak Stories. Like I said, your work for Benang Studios, it's very inspiring. It's very, sometimes it puts me almost to tears. Like the things you do for trauma survivors, especially, like, thank you for giving them an outlet where they can heal, and thank you for giving them a sense of support around them. Like, I think that will be something that they will want to hear. So I'm telling you on behalf of them, like, thank you for giving them that outlet. And then of course, your work blending tradition with modern works, like, that's crazy.
Have to be innovative lah kan?
Yes. And then, so to our viewers, if you want to learn more about TEGAS programs, follow TEGAS Digital Village and Innovation Hub on Facebook and Instagram. Remember, innovation is all around us in Sarawak. Sometimes it's just waiting for someone like Eleanor to weave it into something beautiful. Until next time, keep innovating and stay inspired.